How to afford the carnivore diet. 7 budget-friendly hacks. The carnivore diet offers the promise of profound healing, clear skin, boundless energy, and freedom from chronic inflammation. But then you walk into the grocery store, stare at the price of a ribeye steak, and your dreams crash into reality. Is this life-changing diet only for the ultra-wealthy? Are you doomed to expensive cuts or worse, going broke just to feel better? Absolutely not. I am Ms. Mirza from Carnivore Cure. Welcome. If you're new here, subscribe, like, comment, and share. It truly helps us cut through the noise and get this life-changing information to the people who need it most. We're about to show you how to execute this diet with a laser focus on cost, proving that the carnivore lifestyle can be comparable to, or even cheaper than, the standard American diet, SAD, especially when you factor in the long-term savings on health. The biggest misconception: the ribeye tax. The single largest barrier to entry for the carnivore diet is the misconception that you must live exclusively on premium cuts of grass-fed, grass-finished ribeye steak. This is a myth perpetuated by food influencers, not reality. Ribeye is a luxury, not a requirement. The true power of the carnivore diet is the elimination of inflammatory, calorie-dense but nutrient-poor filler foods, bread, snacks, packaged meals, sugary drinks, that bleed your budget dry. When you remove those, you free up a huge amount of capital to invest in the single most nutrient-dense food source: animal products. Content gap. The SAD tax. Most people ignore the SAD tax, the money spent daily on coffee runs, cheap takeout lunches, late-night snacks, and, most importantly, the high cost of managing chronic illness, medication, doctor co-pays, caused by that diet. The elimination of these hidden costs is the first and most powerful budget hack. 7 budget-friendly hacks to master the carnivore diet. 1. Ground beef, the budget king. If the carnivore diet had a national currency, it would be ground beef. This is, without question, the most cost-effective, versatile, and nutrient-dense staple you can buy. Why it wins: it's almost universally available and provides a perfect balance of fat and protein. You can often find standard 80/20 ground beef for $4-6 per pound in the US, making it a fraction of the cost of steak. The pro tip: don't chase the leanest ground beef, 90/10. Remember that fat is your fuel on carnivore. The fattier blends, 80/20, are cheaper, more satiating, and provide the necessary calories to power your day, which means you eat less overall. A single pound of 80/20 ground beef can be a complete meal, providing optimal satiety for minimal cost. 2. Eggs, the nutritional and financial lifeboat. Eggs are quite literally a complete package of life, containing every nutrient required to create a chick, including bioavailable choline, vitamin K2, and vitamin E, nutrients that can sometimes be lower in muscle meat alone. Why they win: eggs are the single most affordable, complete animal-based protein source. Even high-quality, pasture-raised eggs are reasonably priced when purchased in bulk. They are the perfect filler for any meal where you need more fat or are short on meat. The pro tip: buy in bulk at warehouse clubs, Costco, Sam's Club, or search for local farm deals. Eating 4 to 6 eggs with your ground beef dinner instantly lowers the overall cost per meal while boosting your nutrient density. 3. Prioritize bone-in, fattier cuts. The USDA grading system prioritizes cuts for tenderness and marbling. We, as carnivores, prioritize fat content and value. The cheapest, toughest cuts are often the most flavorful and budget-friendly when cooked correctly. Top budget cuts, the MVPs: chuck roast, beef shank, brisket, pork shoulder, pork butt, chicken thighs, bone-in, skin-on. Why they win: bone-in cuts are almost always cheaper than boneless. Cuts that require long, slow cooking, like chuck roast, are less desirable to the average consumer, making them incredibly affordable for you. A slow-cooked chuck roast is one of the most tender, satisfying, and cost-effective meals available. Anecdote 1. The pot roast revelation. Sarah started carnivore and was spending $150 a week on expensive steaks. She was stressing about the cost. She switched to buying an 8-pound chuck roast for $3.99 per lb once a week. She slow-cooked it on Sunday, shredded it, and suddenly had a week's worth of delicious, tender, high-fat meat for under $35. The perceived cost of the diet dropped by over 50% overnight simply by shifting her primary cut of meat. 4. Organ meats, nature's cheapest multivitamin. Liver, kidney, and heart are often priced at just 1-3 per pound at most butcher shops and grocery stores because they are overlooked. This is a massive mistake. Beef liver is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet, offering a powerful, cheap source of bioavailable retinol, vitamin A, folate, and B vitamins. Why they win? You only need to consume small amounts, 1 to 2 ounces 2 to 3 times a week, to cover your bases. The cost-to-nutrient ratio is astonishingly good. The pro tip: mix finely ground beef liver into your ground beef. Mistake number 1. Start with a small ratio, 1 part liver to 4 parts beef. You will barely taste it, but you will instantly boost the nutritional value of your meal for pennies. 5. Bulk buying and freezer mastery. The single most effective way to beat the high price of meat is to change how you buy, not what you buy. Buy in volume. Watch for major holiday sales, Easter, Memorial Day, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, when roasts and certain cuts are heavily discounted. The freezer is your friend. Invest in a large chest freezer if you don't have one. Buying a quarter or half cow directly from a local US farm is often the cheapest way to buy quality meat, locking in a low price per pound across all cuts. This strategy immediately cuts your grocery bill by eliminating impulse shopping and utilizing bulk discounts. The pro tip: befriend your local butcher. Ask them when they discount their end cuts or meat that is nearing its sell-by date. Often, you can score deep discounts on perfectly good meat that you can cook immediately or freeze. Anecdote 2. The bulk buy win. James, a student on a tight budget, realized the butcher sold pork belly, incredibly fatty and calorically dense, for just $2.99 per lb when bought as a whole slab. He bought a 10-pound slab, sliced it, and froze individual portions. He found that a small portion of pork belly was so satiating he could easily skip lunch, turning a seemingly expensive diet into an intermittent fasting (IF) hack that reduced his total daily food spending. 6. Meal timing. The intermittent fasting bonus. When you shift to a carnivore diet, your blood sugar stabilizes, and your body becomes efficient at burning fat. This leads to profound satiety. You simply aren't hungry all the time. Why it wins: intermittent fasting, IF, or 1 meal a day, OMAD, becomes effortless. By naturally shifting from 3 meals a day to just 1 or 2 massive, satiating, carnivore-friendly meals, you automatically reduce your daily food costs by 33% to 50%. You are not starving. You are satiated by nutrient-dense fat and protein. The content gap mainstream misses. They think IF is willpower-based. On carnivore, IF is a metabolic side effect. You save money without trying to save money. 7. The ultimate cost-benefit analysis. Health is wealth. This is the content gap that critics always miss. Focusing solely on the grocery bill is short-sighted. The carnivore diet should be viewed as a health investment that generates massive financial returns. The sad cost trap. The average person spends money on prescription co-pays, over-the-counter medication, antacids, pain relievers, specialist visits for chronic diseases, IBS, eczema, diabetes, and supplements to compensate for a poor diet. The carnivore return. While peer-reviewed studies on the direct cost-effectiveness of the carnivore diet are preliminary, clinical trials demonstrate that elimination diets can be a cost-effective method for identifying and treating chronic conditions. Source 4.1. By drastically reducing systemic inflammation, many find they can eliminate or reduce medications for conditions like diabetes, autoimmune disorders, and high blood pressure. That is where the real savings are. Anecdote 3. The prescription savings. Maria was spending $150 a month on prescription medication for her psoriasis and acid reflux. After 60 days of strict carnivore, her physician, after careful monitoring, of course, took her off the reflux medication, and her need for the expensive psoriasis creams was halved. Her grocery bill increased by $50 a month, but her medical bill decreased by $100 a month. She was $50 richer and felt exponentially better. Health is wealth. Quick fire FAQ, common budget questions. Q. Do I need to buy expensive grass-fed beef? No. The priority for beginners on a budget is the elimination of inflammatory plant foods. Any beef is better than no beef. If your budget only allows for conventional ground beef, start there. The massive health gains from eliminating vegetable oils and sugar far outweigh the difference between conventional and grass-fed meat. Q. Are pork and chicken okay? They're cheaper. They are great for the budget. Pork shoulder, pork belly, and bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs are excellent, fat-rich, and affordable choices. If you have autoimmune issues, you might prioritize beef, ruminant, first, but for pure budget savings, poultry and pork are excellent additions. Q. How do I store all this bulk meat? You need a freezer and a vacuum sealer. Vacuum sealing meat protects against freezer burn and keeps the meat fresh for years. This investment is non-negotiable for serious budget carnivores. Conclusion. Take control of your plate and your wallet. The myth that the carnivore diet is too expensive is the last piece of misinformation standing in the way of your healing. By implementing these 7 budget hacks, from making ground beef your champion to mastering bulk buying and realizing the massive health cost savings, you can successfully sustain this transformative lifestyle without financial stress. Your health is worth the investment, and your healing shouldn't be reserved for the wealthy. Take control of your plate, take control of your wallet, and watch as your body and bank account thank you. If you are ready to start saving money and healing your body, hit the subscribe button right now, and let me know in the comments below which of the 7 hacks you're going to use first. I'm not a doctor. Consult a healthcare professional before making major diet changes, especially if you have pre-existing conditions or are on medication. This video offers practical tips for saving money while following the carnivore diet, which aligns perfectly with your script's topic.